welcome to Great News, another episode with Kevin Ryder and Mike Catherwood. We do this because for the new year, you need to have positive stories in your life.
Yeah, we're heroes.
We're heroes. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah, not all heroes wear capes, and so
some of them wear shorts and
correctly, yes,
old T-shirts
and no shoes or socks. But listen, the point is positive stories to make you to restore your faith in humanity. So that's what we do.
And honestly, it's a disservice that other news shows are doing to you by making you think that humanity is bad and mean and divisive, when in actuality, it's a very small minority.
Oh, what?
No, not minorities. No, I didn't mean that. I said it's a minority of.
Wow. That's record time. People. Even for you, that's record time.
Intro. The show's about to begin, bro. Say hello to the happy, goodbye to the blues. Kevin and Mike are here to give you great news.
Beautiful.
Better.
My first story involves a 14-year-old and
Chris Hansen.
I don't have to bring up what Mike and I were like as 14-year-olds. Right? I mean,
you don't
established.
You know, you the viewer know.
Correct. Yes. So there's a kid named Archer Calder from Cypress, Texas, and he has been unable to speak with his younger sister Della. She has something called Bainbridge-Roper syndrome, and she can't communicate using language, much like me. But for her, it's a medical thing. And her brother said, "All right, she can't do that. What are my options? What should I do? I'm going to create an app so that she can click on certain things and she can talk. She can tell me whatever she wants to tell me."
Wait, he just created an app? He's like, you know what? I'm tired of throwing in the towel.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm going to do? Create an app, and it's going to make it so that somebody who's been unable to communicate her entire life will be able to communicate.
Wow.
Because it seems like that should be good.
Yeah.
Watch this story. It's crazy.
You were telling me how you wanted a scooter from Santa. How you wanted a scooter for Christmas. Is that true?
Scooter.
Yeah, you want scooters?
This is Della. The 14-year-old was born with a rare genetic condition that impacts her ability to speak.
We didn't really realize that there was an issue until she was about 1 and she wasn't meeting her milestones. So difficulty sitting up, crawling. We also noticed there was no speech. She's completely nonverbal.
Train.
You want to go ride the train?
Della's brother Archer has been developing a web application to help his sister communicate.
She wants to communicate like everybody else. And just imagine how hard it would be if you couldn't communicate by talking to people.
The website lets users program buttons with images of their choice that represent words.
I like you. Nuggets.
Okay.
Train.
Yeah, we're going to go to the train.
We're still going to go to the train.
In the past, when we had to run errands, we just took her. She was never really consulted. And I mean, now today, outings start with us just asking, hey, you want to go do this? You want to go do that? Yes, I want to go do that.
Choo-choo.
Choo-choo.
Hey.
You want to go fast?
I want to go faster.
You want to go faster? Whenever I first made the application, I spent like an hour or two coding the tile pad for her and making sure it has all of her favorite buttons and stuff. I remember like I gave it to her, I put it on her iPad, and she opened it up and said like, 1 or 2 things and then closed it out and watched what she was watching. Like all of this had amounted to this small interaction, but it was a big deal for me. Seeing her communicate with my application. I want everyone to have a moment like that with their nonverbal sibling or friend. So I have a nonverbal sibling. Now, that being said, a lot of apps on the App Store that are made for people who can't talk are extremely expensive.
That's why Archer made his app free for anyone to use.
When I had first made my first video, I only expected it to receive, a few dozen, 100 views. When it received 1 million views, I got a lot of comments congratulating me. And originally, because I was such a junior developer and I knew it, I kind of felt this sense of like imposter syndrome. The good part about it, I got a lot of eyeballs on the project, and I got a lot of contributors who wanted to contribute their code.
Archer made his software open source, which means other coders can add new features to the app.
Today I'm going to show us how we can control free speech with just our eyes on the iPad using an awesome application called Hawkeye Access. I will then look up the word hello,
Hello.
blink,
While the app is still a work in progress and is still only accessible through a website, it's already helping people across America and the world find their own voices.
So the fact that he's motivated to help other people, he takes in the comments that they have, he takes in the suggestions. That's what any parent wants for their son. They want their child to grow up to be empathetic, and now here he is in a very tangible way helping other people.
Baby Jeff?
Wolf, Blitzer, CNN, Washington.
Screw you.
Why were we so bad as kids? Not only did he come up with an app that like could revolutionize the way people talk, you could make a lot of money from an app, a lot of money. And he noticed that everything was so expensive in this realm that he just said, I'm going to put up for free. I'm going to put up open source code. So you can go in, write your own code, make it yours specifically for what you need. And it's just free.
It's a beautiful story. And that young man really deserves so much credit because, as you pointed out, he didn't even do it for financial gain. I was thinking though, I would never be able to do that at 14 because
of course
I'm a moron. But I do think I'm not so bad that I wouldn't do it if I could. Like if I had the brain power to do that, even at 42, I probably would. I can't believe that kid can do that. That's just so amazing.
Can and did, and it worked perfectly. I did enjoy the part of the story where he said that his sister checked it out for a couple of minutes and then just went back to watching something else. This guy comes up with something that's a miracle, and she's like, all right.
I got this Roger and Ebert syndrome.
My stories are on, so I have to go watch TV. I don't know why she's in the 1970s and a housewife.
No, she's definitely watching Days of Our Lives at 14 years old. That's a great story. Great start.
That is.
Kevin,
thank you.
My story
yes,
comes from my life. This was a great news story that happened to me.
Is that right?
Sure. So just yesterday, driving home from doing some chores that I needed to handle, and my wife and my daughter needed me to stop at the store, and I went to the store, and there was not this one specific thing there that I needed to get, so I went to a different supermarket, and next thing I know, it's getting later than I wanted it to be for me to return home. So I said, you know what, I'll stop and get them lunch because they're probably starving. So I pull into where, Kevin? In-N-Out Burger, because it's in my blood. Even though I'm out here in the great state of Texas, got to get a double-double every once in a while.
I mean, we did grow up a majority of our lives in Southern California, and In-N-Out is, if you're going to get food,
it's never a bad choice.
Correct.
There's never a time when it doesn't matter what time of day. Doesn't matter if you had In-N-Out earlier that day. In-N-Out's always like, oh, you're like, okay, there's no problem with that. So I pull into In-N-Out here in Texas. There's not very many, but there is one kind of close by to us. And I place my order, and I get to the front, and guy goes, let me make sure you got your order. I got 2 double doubles, protein style, animal style, blah, blah, blah. And I go, yeah, got it right. And he goes, okay, well, the girls in front of you paid for you. And I said,
really? What? We've done a story just like this before.
What are you talking about? I go, what'd you say? He said, yeah, the girls in front of you, they took care of it. And I said, oh, wow. And I'm kind of, obviously I'm flattered, but I'm a little like stuck and confused because I'm like, well, what do I do now? And I look for it, and they turn around, they're waving to me, and it was like teenage chicks. They were young, so for them to think you did, I was very nice to them. And I go, well, I guess I'll pay for the person behind me. And he goes, okay. He goes, that'll be $6.95. I go, boom, score. It was like 1/5 of what I ordered. But hopefully the trend continued, and I was very close to the front of this little deal. So hopefully it continued on. But I remember
could have continued on throughout the day.
Yes, because I remember we did the story about the Chick-fil-A in Phoenix area that did like 190 something people.
Yep.
And you and I both were like immediately, who's the final dude who was like, you know what, I'm good. I know 190 people have paid for the person behind it, but all right, thanks for my food. I'll see you later.
Thanks. Worked in my favor. I'm doing well though. The person behind me, no, I don't care. I don't care.
Hopefully it went on, and the only reason they stopped at 190 something is because it closed. But there you go.
That's fantastic.
A really nice person decided to pay for my lunch.
And here's what I love about that too. They paid for your lunch, and your immediate thought is, okay, well, I should do something then. What should I do? Like that is good. That's how good people work. They did that for you, and then you said, I'm going to pay for the car behind me as long as it has a $6 limit. I mean, sure, you could put a limit on it. That's you. But I'm saying most people, they just need a tiny little nudge, and they want to help, get involved, do the same thing as well.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, what we've come to notice from doing this show is that it's contagious. Doing it is contagious. And people just kind of need the spark because the flame exists internally. I guess the fuel exists internally, you know?
Yeah, I don't like where this is going. But yeah, exactly. It doesn't take much. Somebody does one tiny little thing, and then even Mike in his head, even Mike thought, I should do something as well. So
yeah, I got their
do that.
I saw that they were young females, so I got their license plate number and made sure that I could maybe check up later, and then I paid for the person behind me.
That is 100% where I thought that story was going. Of course. My next story is about 87-year-old Renee Nira.
Nice.
Who has been working toward a college graduate degree since the 1950s.
Why the rush?
Since the 1950s. In 2016, when he was 82 years old. And by the way, when I'm 82 years old, there's not going to be schooling. There's not going to be studying. There's going to be just pudding. That's it. Pudding.
Pudding.
Maybe a little ice
Fox
cream.
News.
Sure. No, I mean, okay. If that's your thing.
I'm just thinking, like, what do old people do? You know, like.
Yeah, no, that's true.
It's going to be like way too much tanning. I'm going to be that leathery old man.
Sure. You'll never wear a shirt. You'll never wear a shirt. No. Just because, you know, you can get away with anything when you're old.
Yes.
That's when you can like say offensive things and have people go, oh, isn't that cute? He's just an old guy.
And certainly sit on your ass, not go to college.
Right. In 2016, the guy was 82 years old, and he enrolled in Palo Alto College in San Antonio, Texas. And it just so happens that his granddaughter was enrolling in that school at the exact same time. So grandpa and granddaughter enrolling in a college at the exact same time. She was a communications major, which we all know is a bogus major where you really don't learn anything.
No.
He was a economics major. So they basically, it's so bizarre because at 82, the guy goes, you know what I want to do? I want to finish college and get a degree. Watch the story and listen to his granddaughter talk about her grandfather.
Joined by his granddaughter, Melanie Ann Salazar. Melanie Ann Salazar Laude.
My grandpa has been in and out of school since the 1950s. So since the 50s, he has been working towards his bachelor's degree, and it has been one of his life's goals and dreams. But in the 50s, he fell in love, got married, started a family, so wasn't able to continue school right away.
2017, the pair enrolled at University of Texas
There were
San
times when we
Antonio.
would get lunch together, be in the library together, and just like work silently side by side.
Renee Maida, degree of recognition.
In December 2021, they graduated together. Imagine that. Melanie earned a degree in communications.
Yeah, because she's cute.
Renee graduated with a degree in recognition in economics.
I
I'll explain
wanted
that in
to
a
cry
second.
out of happiness that I was able to have that memory. And really, because I'm also really proud of my grandpa, knowing and seeing how hard he had to work.
So that part where it says that he got a degree in recognition, he got recognized for his. Technically, he didn't get enough credits.
Oh,
technically, he didn't really graduate.
well, technically, you could suck my balls because he's 80 something years old. So
Right.
just give him the diploma.
Right. Well, that's what
No.
they did. They made up a diploma. They literally said, listen, we can't give you a real diploma because you didn't get all of the credits that you need. So
Totally
we're going
okay
to give
with
you a certificate of recognition. It's a participation trophy, basically.
Yep.
And I just want to say this is a beautiful story.
Yeah.
But 82-year-old, not a great student. That guy's been trying to get a bachelor degree since 1950. And he
Yeah.
doesn't have enough credits.
No, like if you had a friend that was 30 and still in college, you're like, dude, you're not a
Maybe-
med student, you know, like
maybe
you're not at law
maybe,
school. What?
Maybe something else for you.
Yeah. You're not a dumb person. Let's go. Become an
Right.
electrician or something. Like start working. Get a good job and go.
But the school, I thought, was really cool to sort of come up with some type of, it's not a degree, but,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
something
definitely.
so that
And
he
this is
could
why it's okay.
participate in, graduation with his granddaughter.
This is why it's okay. There's so many BS celebrities that get made up diplomas where the school just manipulates something and does all these gymnastics to give them a completely BS degree. So I think it's totally okay to do it for the 80-something-year-old person who's been at your school since like the 50s.
Right, but isn't there a part of you that goes, the dude's been around since 1950. It's really just a 4-year program.
Maybe he's just a pervert. He's like, I just want to stay around the 19-year-old girls. He's Matt McConaughey from Days of Confused. He's like, I get older, they stay the same age. Feed me some pudding.
So you think he wanted to enroll the same time as his granddaughter because she could be a wingman?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's like, listen, honey, don't you have any friends you can introduce Grandpa to?
Grandpa needs to eat. No, it's lunchtime. I don't know what you're talking about.
I have
Dirty
another
mind.
story, Kevin.
Yes.
Another fantastic story about a senior citizen. This one's very heartwarming, and it is a holiday story. There is a chain of grocery stores in the UK called Sainsbury.
Mm-hmm.
And this man, 86-year-old Edwin Holmes, he is a senior citizen who lives at a long-term care facility right near a Sainsbury grocery store in Leeds. He goes in quite frequently, and the 22-year-old girl working behind the counter, her name is Ellie Walker. She loves Edwin. She is, and I quote, "He is without a shadow of a doubt my favorite customer." Well, she saw that, the holidays were coming around, and he was still buying the same kind of single-serving TV dinners and whatnot. And she just asked him, like, are you going to be with family for Christmas? And he said, no, all my grown children actually live outside of the country. And my wife passed away 5 decades ago. So I guess his wife tragically died a very long time ago. And he's been a widower ever since. He never thought to meet anyone else because his wife was his lady. Well, Ellie stepped into gear and she said, well, you're not spending it alone. I'm going to take you out on a date. And check it out. This dude put on a suit, brought her flowers, and they sat and they had a Christmas dinner date inside the supermarket restaurant that's attached to the supermarket. And he brought flowers, put on a suit, and they had this magical kind of Christmas Eve date. And they asked Ellie about, the flowers in the suit, and she said, I was just so flattered that he would think to go through such, to go to such an extent just to please me. It was our silly little date. I kind of did it just to spend time with him because I like him. And he says, well, it was my first date in 55 years. I was not about to go out the house in a t-shirt and trousers. I had to bring flowers because I certainly wasn't going to come empty-handed.
I love that it's his first date.
Yeah.
I love that in 50 years. I love the width of his tie. And I love that he cuts his own hair. I like all of that about him.
We don't even need to look. His pants are so high. Right?
Yeah, his pants, he had to pull down his pants for these shots because they're like right just above his armpits.
It's an awesome story, right? Really sweet.
Yeah, definitely. Look how sweet she is.
Yeah, she is. And look her. I'm not going to, avoid that. And I'm just going to say, I don't expect her to break him off full on sex, but Roadhead on the way home. I mean,
that guy might die.
Is there a problem with that? At that age?
Because he died doing what he loved?
And he goes up to the pearly gates and he's like, I was getting blown. And next thing you know, I guess he's British. So he's like, next thing you know, takes out my wanker, and here I am in heaven. Oh, this seems fantastic.
Listen, I'm sure that's how it ended. I'm sure it is for him, just because. But how great is she?
Yeah, no, that's a really beautiful. All kidding aside, great.
There's so many people where there's that great an age difference. You're nice. Maybe he's your favorite customer. You chat a little bit. You talk with him. Do you have dinner with him where he gets like showered and shaved and puts on a suit and, has a couple of condoms in his wallet? Does that happen? Sure. Not usually.
It's like a leather condom from World War II.
With actual bullet holes in it.
A German soldier put one in my crotch, but I decided to save it. I didn't want to waste money.
All right, my next story is about an old man as well. He has a grandkid, and he plays the saxophone. Now, I'm not going to lie. He's not good. He's not a good saxophone player. But watch the baby's reaction to Grandpa playing the saxophone.
Okay.
His grandpa playing the saxophone. These are the words on the screen for those of you that are listening. He has been playing his instrument for most of his life.
Grade? Bullshit.
Yeah. His adorable reaction went viral online.
Oh, you kid. Led to a GoFundMe page to get Grandpa Sims a new saxophone. Nice.
Right? And this is him unboxing the new saxophone.
Now he plays Braylon's favorite song, Itsy Bitsy Spider, on the new instrument. Wow, that's beautiful.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Other people saw this greatness and wanted to get in on it, so they started a GoFundMe page and they get him a new saxophone.
Just like we talked about earlier, it's contagious, man. Not only did people see that incredible video of that just beautiful child and the nice moment they shared, they're like, we gotta spruce up his saxophone. That's awesome.
Right.
And
right.
Can we just cut the bullshit real quick? He's 35.
He's awful. What? Oh,
he's 35 years old
35.
And he's a grandpa. Like,
yeah.
Okay. I really, people, I understand we live in a different age and political correctness and whatnot, but we need to talk about this stereotype of black don't crack, it's fucking real and it's unfair because that guy and Idris Elba and Angela Bassett, that's impossible. That guy had to be my age at least. He looked like he was in college.
Oh, don't say that. He's not in his 90s. Don't refer to yourself that way. Here was my take. My take was completely different. And that is they couldn't have done a GoFundMe for some lessons because he's not great.
They might have, but they wanted to keep the theme of the story
he's not
positive.
A great player. He's not great at playing the saxophone.
I also wouldn't mention that I'd been playing since the 5th grade. Like if that story is about me, I would have lied. I've been like, I picked it up 6 months ago.
Right.
The kid said he liked it. I don't really know how to play, but I'm trying.
Right, exactly. But no, he's been playing since the 5th grade, and he's still not good. But that kid loved it.
Yeah, and
that's why it went viral.
Because an impossibly cute child.
Yes, exactly, and that's why the video went the viral, because you see a little kid like that, and you see the joy in that kid's face, even though the saxophone playing is garbage, he loves it. And it just makes him so happy. And that's the kind of thing that really gets things to go viral because people love to see joy.
That is the best,
especially children.
I will go and do, like silly character voices and pretend to be a pirate or an elf or something. When my daughter has her friends over and they just like 6-year-old, 7-year-old people they think I'm Jim Carrey in his prime. And I'm just like, I'm the worst, but this is so great because you guys, you would think that I'm Eddie Murphy in 1983,
Like you were doing Raw?
Yeah.
At the kid's birthday party?
Completely unedited. Kevin, I have a doggy story here.
All right.
And Courtney and I were talking about this before the show. This is so funny and so impossible and so cute.
Excellent.
But I want to show you how animals, at the very least mammals, have a lot of the same trends and a lot of the same habits and behavior. Because this young lady dog is not happy with someone messing with her. So What does she do? She says, I'm going to go get my man. And you just watch out. When I go get my boyfriend, I'm going to come back and you're going to recognize. All right? So there's a good-sized pit bull. Right. He's like, you want to take pictures? Okay, I'll be right back. What's up? You met my lady?
My name is Mac.
Come on. He came to regulate.
That's pretty strong.
Just wait right there. You're looking through the fence? Not on my watch, buddy. I'm gonna go get Mac. What, honey? What? Someone's messing with you? You better back off, buddy. Right. I don't call the cops around here. I take care of things myself.
I love that story. I love that. I don't know why. I mean, listen, we love dogs, and there's a dog story in every single Great News with Kevin and Mike.
Not a problem either.
No. They might increase. I don't know. If you like this kind of podcast, and it's important I think it's important, not because we do it, let's be honest. It's important because you need some hope. You need hope that people are okay, and not everybody's a terrible human being. And there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of beautiful things. And that's the kind of stuff that we need to focus on. So we do a 4-minute podcast twice a week. And you can just kind of get your fill of, hey, not everybody's a dick. There are some people who are really, really doing wonderful, good things. And we like to focus on that. So if you like that type of thing, you can subscribe to the podcast, and you can get the audio version anywhere where podcasts are. And the video version is on YouTube. And we'll put the link up. I don't know that we will. I have no idea if we have that capability, but I've always wanted to say that. We'll put the link up at the bottom of the screen.
And we will really appreciate it if you act as a Great News affiliate and tell your friends, tell your family, hey, there's this 25-minute burst of positive energy that I like to expose myself to twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, and it's called Great News with Kevin and Mike, and I really think you should do the same. We'd appreciate that.
We would. Time for the outro?
Yes, Kevin. outro. You know what I'm talking about, bro. So say hello to the happy, goodbye to the blues, cause Kevin and Mike just gave you all the great news.